everybody. How is everyone doing on this fine Monday evening? So good to see each and every one of you. Hello to Dave, to Sly, and then hopefully a few more will be joining on here pretty soon. So sorry I was a little late trying to get things in. I'm trying to get on a schedule of getting everything done within a week of when the actual live starts. And so I'm trying to build a schedule and things like that. And so I do apologize for those types of things and things like that. So welcome. Tonight's not going to be really much of a topic, just some things that I want to share with each and every one of you. Because, as you know, this is a mental health and trauma podcast. And so we do talk about mental health. We talk about trauma. We talk about the correlations. We talk about coping skills. There's just so many things that's trauma and mental health related here. And so, as most of you know, let me take a step back for a minute, because I'll just dive right in and jump right into what I want to say. So let me take a step back and take a breath. So for those of you that are new, my internet's probably wonky again for who knows what reason. So I actually was going to sit outside because it's still light here and it's actually really warm. But unfortunately, my neighbor is mowing. And so I knew that with him mowing, I probably wouldn't be able to hear. And then my dog's in the backyard. She'd probably start barking. And then it would just make me mad. I'd probably have to go over there and give her a chop suey. No. And so I would have loved to have been outside, but unfortunately I'm in here for now, but that's okay. I get to hang out with you guys for a little bit. So welcome, Michael. So for those of you that may be new, welcome. Hey, Scott. So Healedish is a podcast because, as we're going on this trauma and mental health journey of recovery, of healing, transformation, or restoration, we're Healedish. We're always healing on this journey. And so what better name for a podcast as we're journeying together, as we're, just kind of being there for everybody in a supportive community, Healedish. My name is Jean. I'm a certified neurotransformative practitioner, and I'm also a certified therapeutic art specialist as well. If you've been on here before, you noticed that I didn't say neurosomatic art practitioner. There's some changes that are coming in fall of 26 that I'm super excited for. I'm not going to spill the beans. I probably have, but I'm not going to spill the beans. Try not to. I spilled the beans yesterday on something, and now I'm like, I'm really irritated with myself that I was caught off guard and not thinking and spilled the beans and actually kind of ruined a huge surprise. And so I'm giving myself grace, but I'm a little bit irritated with myself. But fall of 26, there's some exciting things coming for Art of Transformation and just really elevating. Yeah, well, I know I got to watch what I say. I mean, that's the thing. Like okay. So it makes it tough, and stuff. I think I'm going to have to find a co-host. I think if I find a co-host on there and kind of bounce things back and forth, I think it would be really neat than just me all the time, or, obviously having guests, but I really need to see about having a co-host and stuff like that and everything. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me, a little bit about the podcast, why we do it. Why we do it is simply because there's so many people that don't identify that they have trauma, or that mental health and trauma, there's a correlation between them both. So many in our community are misdiagnosed. No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed mental health professional, so I can't diagnose. But so many of them start noticing changes, and they'll come to me and say, Jean, I think I was misdiagnosed. So I just kind of listen to them, and it kind of does make you wonder. But I come from the standpoint of not only using my life experiences, but what my clients tell me. But coming from a client, or sorry, not a client, but coming from my own life experiences, I was misdiagnosed on several occasions. And so anyway, what we end up doing here, so many people are afraid to go to the doctor. There's a lot of medical trauma and surrounding things like that. And so some people, have that. Some people have social anxiety. Some people just don't want to leave the house because their anxiety or whatever is going on is just so strong that sometimes they're homebound, unfortunately. And so what we do is we bring we just bring so many tools and resources to those that need us, and let them know that there's a community out here that understands, a community that loves them, a community that will be here for them through thick and thin. And so they're not alone on this journey, which is huge. And so, yeah, so I enjoy doing this. I need to, some other things that I really want to do. I really want to start putting this out there for, out there on all the different podcasts and stuff like that too. I'm just trying to get some other stuff in a row. I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want my plate to be dripping gravy and become so overwhelmed that I have so many things on my plate that I am overwhelmed, and then I just shut down and I'm like, fine, I don't want to do anything, and things like that. And so I don't want that to happen. So I'm just trying to work on different things that I'm doing. Unfortunately, I had to switch my entire website over and go back to another website and things like that, which is okay. Thank God for copy and paste. So I'm just finishing up some of my classes and stuff like that, the courses, my structured courses and stuff like that I'm doing. So, yay for that. I mean, I'm almost done. So, that's a huge thing. But tonight, I wanted to share a couple things with you, and I did a video. My husband knows, my daughter knows, probably everybody in the universe knows by now, which I'm not ashamed. Like, I am just super excited. I'm super stoked, and I just kind of want to share some things that happened this weekend, and then I will go into the Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health. There's a huge surprise with that there, but I do want to share this with all of you, and kind of bring some encouragement and things like that too, and things like that. And so I won't stay, I can't say I'm not going to stay on this topic for long, but it's all in whatever God wants. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with all of you. I know some of you are Christian. I know some of you aren't. I know some of you are on the fence. You're kind of lukewarm. Some of you are just like, I got 1 foot in, I got 1 foot in, but I like my sin and I like the worldly things, and I'm not really ready to give up control yet. So you're kind of on the fence. Maybe you got 1 foot a little bit further, and maybe you're knee deep on one side and only ankle deep on the other. I don't know. But anyway, somebody needs to hear this, especially when it goes back to the replay. I posted this on my Facebook last night, but so I just want to share with you a little bit and bring some encouragement and just show you where God is real. And so, not that I never doubted that for a moment, but so I went to a ladies' conference this weekend, and I've been praying since probably July for some transformation and things like that. And so Friday night, my pastor got up there and she preached a wonderful message. And, during her message, I could literally feel the things that were restraining me. I could feel them just come off of my body. And I was like, wow, this is like a weird feeling. I've never felt this before, but literally I could just literally feel it just coming off me. And I felt lighter, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. Saturday, we had 3 other speakers come in. Let me take a drink. My mouth is always so dry. Saturday, we had 3 other speakers come in. Absolutely amazing. First speaker took the stage and she presented. I love Pastor Marty. I go to her not her Bible study, but her prayer group. I try to go on Tuesdays. When at the end, when she was praying over all of us and things like that, my heart literally got warm. Like, it was warm. I never felt that in my life. Like, it was warm. I was like, what is going on? Like, why is my heart doing this? It was the weirdest feeling, but I was like, oh, it must just be the Holy Spirit is in there kind of chiseling away at all that yucky stuff, and he's transforming my heart. So that's what I just kind of chalked it up to be, which it was. Then the next lady got up there, and this is really gets neat. So the next lady gets up there, Pastor Janet, and she starts preaching. She was talking about the pearl, and how in order for an oyster, I had to think for a minute, an oyster to make a pearl, there's an irritant. So there's pain and purpose. So when there's pain, the oyster makes a pearl. And so it's the same thing with us. When we have some sort of thing going on with us, some sort of irritant, sometimes it's looking at the pain. What is that pain into purpose? What is that pain? Why is that pain happening? Sometimes God uses pain for purpose, because there's going to be somebody else that needs to hear that. And so he's kind of sending us through a trial trial, tribulation, and so when we'll come out at the other side. And so what came to mind during that was one of the frameworks that I have created, and it's the tangle and the thread. And so the tangle is the chaotic mess, and the thread is actually kind of like Jesus walking through that chaos with you. And that's kind of what came to mind then. Thought that was kind of interesting too. And I was like, oh, I could use that framework when I'm working, with some of my Christian clients. And so, she started talking about our created name. What is our created name? Well, my created name is Gina. That's what, when I was created, that's the name that my parents gave me. But what she asked was, she said, what is the name that God gives you? And instantly Ocean came to mind. I'm like, Ocean, like God's going to call me Ocean. Like what is that? Like, what's the significance around Ocean? And I love the ocean. And I thought, oh, well, okay. I still have no idea. Like, I didn't have any idea what it meant, but I love the ocean. I miss my family on the East Coast, but I really miss the ocean. Like the ocean was like the bomb. It's just so peaceful. The waves, against the rocks and things like that. And it's just, I love it. I love it. So anyway, I kept hearing ocean, ocean, ocean. And I thought, well, I kept seeing it, not hearing it, but I kept seeing it as plain as day, ocean in white letters. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. So she said, come to the altar, put your hands, release everything, ask God to give you, to show you what your transformed name is. And then also, maybe there'll be a prophetic word. And so I got down there and, and I just said, here, God, I'm surrendering everything to you. Take it all, da, da, da. Well, ocean came again. And then I could literally see myself in the ocean knee deep. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what this means. I still didn't. So went back to my seat and sat there a minute. And I was just like, man, like, I don't know, like that would be, maybe that's the name that God wants to call me, Ocean, but I don't know. Like, I mean, because if you look there, the water and God, there's a huge, like significance between both of them. And so, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll figure it out. I don't know. So I sat there. So the third pastor took the stage, and she's Pastor Jacqueline, and she's from Orlando, Florida. And she gets on stage and starts talking. Well, then into her, the word of God that she was preaching, she turned around and said, have you ever been to the ocean on the East Coast? It's nothing like the ocean on the West Coast. And literally, like, she caught my attention because my, obviously, ocean is what was in my mind. That's the vision I kept seeing was ocean. And then again, me in the ocean knee deep. And I was like, wow. So she got my attention. So anyway, sitting there listening, and she's like, the ocean on the East Coast is nothing compared to the ocean on the West Coast. Like, she's talking about Destin area, like in Florida, the West Coast of Florida. And she's like it's nothing. She said, it's beautiful. And she said, it's so much better than the East Coast, and da, 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 da. Well, then she started talking about being ankle deep with God. When you're ankle deep, you're still in control. When you're knee deep, you're still in control. God has a little bit of control of you, but not a whole lot. When you're waist deep, you're like halfway in, but you're kind of fighting. You can still fight the waves, but barely. When you're shoulder deep, you're almost 3/4 in. And you haven't given up all that control. But when you're head in all deep, you've given up control and you've surrendered your life to God. And now it's up to God to take over. So the vision, this was so cool. Ocean was actually a prophetic word from the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit, God was saying to me, Gina, you want all of these things, not all of these things, but like you're healing and this and this and this, and you want to be able to do this, but I want you to go deeper. I want you to go deeper. So what the ocean represented was God. And so what he was showing me is I was only knee deep, that I need to go deeper. I need to go where he's over my head. And so it really signified, I just a huge thing. And it was just absolutely amazing. Like, I had a Holy Spirit high for 3 days. Absolutely. I was just like, man, this is amazing. Never had that happen to me before. Never received a prophetic word. Never had that happen in my heart. Never was I ever able to feel everything that I had coming off of me. It was just like I could feel like strings, like somebody pulling hair off of me. It was the weirdest feeling, the strangest feeling. And I looked at my friend I had a few friends with me, but I looked at one of my friends I was sitting with, and I said, "Oh my goodness, the word that God gave me was ocean." She's like, "No way." I said, "Yeah, this is some weird stuff." But it's just, I'm sharing that with you because I'm hoping that it brings some encouragement and inspiration that, sometimes we sit on the fence. I'm a fence sitter, and I will be the first to admit it. I have all intentions of going in, and I have all intentions of reading my Bible, and then doing my Bible studies and my devotionals and stuff like that. And I have, and then I think, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'll go back to it, and then I never do. And then I keep saying to myself, oh, I got to read the Bible. I got to read the Bible. But I do read it before I go to bed, which is good, but I need to start reading it in the morning. And I do read it and things like that. But God really showed up and showed me where I am kind of slacking, and I'm going to give myself grace. And so remember, it's small steps. We talk about this all the time, even in trauma recovery. And then, when it comes to mental health, you can't just do giant leaps. It's about small steps. And so, you can't expect to get here and here with God. You have to work those small steps in between. But here's the coolest thing ever. I mean, those were cool, but this is even cooler. I actually had, it's called Draw Near, deepening your relationship with God through neurosomatic art. I literally had that sitting in draft for 2 months on my website. So you tell me, you can't tell me that it was a coincidence these things are happening. This was a divine appointment that these things happened. Going deeper, that's pretty much what it was. It was prophetic transformation, soar next level. It was about going deeper with God. And so you can't tell me that God's hands weren't in this. And so I'm hoping that brings you some inspiration, empowerment, and just for you to say, wow, where is my relationship with God? Where am I in that ocean? And really look back and reflect your own life of where you want to be. Do you just want to be knee deep, knee deep, waist deep, where you're still controlling things, where, you want God to control some things, but you still want to be in the world. You still like your sin, and you still like your worldly things. You're still listening to that music, that secular music that you probably shouldn't be listening to, and slowly let God transform your life like he did mine. Like I tell you, I'm not the same I was yesterday. I'm not even the same I was a minute ago. And I'm hopefully none of you are either. It's all about change. It's about progression. It's about changing, allowing God to change you. I would have never thought that the things that the transformation that I am receiving I would ever be like this. Like I never, believe the things that God is doing in my life. I'm literally just amazed and in awe of the things that he is doing in my life. And so, Scott, I love that you read your Bible every day. So let me ask you, are you reading it or are you listening to it audibly? Because if you're reading it, I want to encourage you to listen to it while you're reading it if you can. And here's why. Because my pastors, Pastor Mike and Kim Lyons, they're phenomenal. I love the church that I go to. And so yesterday, Pastor Kim, and she was saying that, it's okay to read it, but it's even better when you listen to it audibly. And I'm a reader. I'm very old school in a lot of things that I do. It took me a long time to switch to an online calendar because I like writing everything down and things like that. And so it's like, okay, but if you listen to it audibly, what ends up happening is you're hearing it. The word of God will be instilled in you more and more and more. You can listen to it in the car. You can listen to it in while you're taking a shower, while you're doing the dishes, while you're just sitting out in the backyard. Gives you so many opportunities to listen to it. And what it does is you will pick up so much of what's going on, and what you need to hear is what you're going to be able to hear. But when you start listening to it audibly, you're going to start connecting. You're going to start understanding more. You're going to start being transformed by the word of God. And so listening to it is super powerful. So I started, as much as I did not like listening to somebody speak it audibly because it drives me insane, I was able to find a gentleman that speaks, and I actually got used to his voice. And so I listen to him while I read the Bible, and I love it. It has forever changed. I'm able to understand things and go back and say, oh, what does this mean? It's amazing. Another thing I would recommend is, if you have one Bible, I would recommend you getting maybe one or two other Bibles so you can kind of see. So for me, I have a New King James, and then I think I have an NIV or an NLT. And then I also got, sorry, my mouth is so dry. And then I also got this as well. So it's a Pocket Bible Dictionary, and it's really neat. It just talks about, like, gives you all the different things that are in the Bible that you might have questions about. So this has been an amazing tool as well to use. So I'm hoping that will encourage some of you to want to go deeper, go higher, and things like that too. And so I'm still in awe. Absolutely, like, amazing weekend. And I thought that last year was amazing. This year literally was like, was off the hook, off the chain, whatever you want to call it. It was amazing, and things like that too. So, but I wanted to share that with you because I do know that some of you on here are believers and things like that. And again, I just wanted to encourage you that if you are Christian, being on the fence, I'm like, not that I like a whole lot of worldly things. I've literally changed my music. I don't like drinking, and I don't do anything else. And so, you can still have fun without doing all of those other things. So that's just me, I guess. Now I'm getting into the preaching aspect of things, but hey, but nonetheless, that's me. That's what God changed me, transformed my life into who I am today. And I just feel like I'm a better person and things like that. So thank you for listening to that. And I hope it does bring you some encouragement and inspiration, and maybe answering some things, because it was something amazing for me to experience, and to be able to come from a perspective to say, wow, I've never really experienced this before, and here I am experiencing this. And so, so I want to give that to you. All right. So thank you for listening. And Dave, I like how I had to look away because I was trying not to chuckle, but when you said the Bass Pro catalog doesn't count, I thought that was funny. And so, we all need a little laughter here and there. But tonight, what I want to share with you is, our title is Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health. We have a sweet surprise, and we do. So we actually have a couple surprises. And one of them, I've told you I told you before, throughout a lot of the things that we do here, about the conference that I have found. And so Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health Conference, this is the second year for it. And why I created it is because there's so many trauma survivors that really they know that they need help. They just don't know where to get help. They're afraid to go. They're afraid of reliving their past. So many people don't want to talk about their past. And trust me, I get it. The worst thing I want to do is re-traumatize myself, re-traumatize other people. And it's really not a good experience. And so when I created it from the aspect of learning more about the body, the neuro, and the somatic. So neurosomatic, somatic body, neuro, mind, because we're triggered. And you have to work on the body before you can work on the mind. And there's a lot of professionals, unfortunately, that work on the mind and then they work on the body. And so usually it's the triggering in the body that drives the psychological. And so trauma, as we know, stays trapped in the cells. They come out as emotions, dysregulation. There's a lot of mood disorder not mood disorder, but you have mood swings. You could have mood disorder. You become very angry. Your window of tolerance is very low, so things that we've talked about before. But because we want to be able to help people, we actually lowered the price for all of our attendees. And so you were paying, I believe it was $125 or $150 a ticket. For the remainder of our tickets until the day of the conference, or probably the night before the conference, so that we know how many's coming, who's coming, where, and whatever. Or maybe even the morning of, we have literally lowered the tickets to $50. That will get you into the conference for 2 days. It's October. I got to look. I got to cheat. I didn't write that part down because I'm doing this all just unscripted. So it is the October 25th and 26th. And so there are 10 speakers. There'll be 20 sessions. You'll be able to do a art session with me if you choose. You could do an art session with with my mentor, Dr. J. You're more than welcome to do one with her. And then there'll just be so many other phenomenal speakers that will be speaking. There's a Christian speaker that's coming. She'll be talking about some things, trauma. I believe it's like trauma and coming from a Christian aspect and things like that, which is pretty neat. And we just really want to be able to help anybody. Excuse me. We just want to be able to help. I drank that water too fast. Anybody that maybe needs a little bit of extra guidance, a little bit of extra support, people to know that they're not alone, things like that. That's what we really, really want people to understand, that I think that's one of like the most important things. And so it's going back and saying, okay, what is it that you need? And there's so many different topics, so many different layers to trauma. And so, obviously we could go on for years trying to cover them, but we try to, all of the speakers, the 10 speakers, we all try to come from not only using our life experiences, but, we all have different niches, which is amazing. That's amazing for you guys. And so you'll get 10 different personalities, 10 different people, 10 different backgrounds, 10 different life experiences, 10 different ethnicities, 10 different races, religious backgrounds, faith-based backgrounds, whatever you want to call them. And so that's what I love. It's all coming together to help represent healing and restoration and transformation for trauma survivors and those that have mental health challenges. And it's not just for them, it's for families. And so I wanted to extend that to you. If you want a ticket, let me know. I have not lowered it on the website yet. But if you're interested, let me know. And then I can I'm going to get it changed. But it's just one of those things that has been kind of, the Spirit's been kind of working in me and things like that too. And so I really want to get it. I really want to give back, because I think, especially with the way that the world's going right now, it's about getting the tools and resources that we can. And again, there's a lot of people that are looking for that. A lot of people come to YouTube. A lot of people go to, all of these other social medias or all these others, looking for ways that they can transform in healing and recovery from the things that they are going through. And so we wanted to kind of give back and lower the ticket and stuff like that too. And from now and then. And so some of the topics and things like that just to kind of give you an idea, you're going to learn about fawning to freedom. So fawning is like people pleasing in a way. And then the role of faith in trauma healing. And then lines of compassion, befriending your nervous system through art. There'll be self-care. What exactly, we talk about self-care, really diving deep into self-care. What are you doing for your own self-care? And I'm not talking about self-care where you're impulse buying because that makes you feel good. That's not a form of self-care. That's really a form of impulse buying. And that is actually a trauma response. Medical trauma is an ounce of medical trauma isn't an ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. And then we'll have a break for questions and answers. It'll be a live one. There'll be a holistic approach, holistic healing, a dynamic approach to a total body transformation. You'll be able to go into a breathwork session if you want. Power That Looks Like Me is another art class session. We have Shelly. She's going to do women's safety training, but you can, if you're a man, I'm sure you could hit that one up as well if you'd like. It's all about safety. The world has gone nuts these days. Let's just admit it. And so, we need safety training, and how to handle yourself. If, I'm not saying, even men, you guys could probably benefit from this. Not saying, but there's a lot of cool things and a lot of cool tips that Shelly teaches, which is really cool. The Hidden Wounds, how rapid transformational therapy helps heal developmental trauma. And that's Saturday. Sunday, we'll go back in and work on some other things. And there's just so many wonderful things for Sunday as well. And so I'm super excited. So Sunday we'll have art. We'll do like travel safety awareness. There'll be some more the intersection of scripture and neuroscience, trading limiting beliefs for limitless potential, vicarious trauma, exactly what that is. And I believe that is through your trauma living, somebody else's trauma living through you, I believe is what that is. Don't quote me. Releasing trauma on the cellular level through art. Which is me, parenting with a dysregulated nervous system. When you are a parent, how that can affect when your nervous system is dysregulated, how it affects your parenting. And I know firsthand how that truly affects your parenting, because you're like, oh, well, when you're dysregulated, a lot of times you're not listening. You don't want to come from a guidance or a teacher perspective. You want to just, you don't want to listen, and then you start yelling and hollering. And I know that's how I used to be. So what we're trying to do is really get people to understand what it's like to have a dysregulated nervous system, what it's like to have dysregulated emotions. Your emotions are all over the place. And just to bring out emotional resilience, to bring out regulation, to give you the tools and resources that you can use same day. As soon as you get done, you can even use them while you're attending the conference. It's all online, 2 days over Zoom. And so, you can get up, you can, shut your camera off, you can get up, move around, you can eat, you can drink. And so you're not stuck just sitting for 2 days, which I love. And so that's one thing that I love about doing it virtually. Now, I do love doing it in person. I love that interconnection that we have in person, but I love being able to do it online, because then you can come and go. And the reason I did that is because so many people, again, struggle to leave their homes. They don't like to be in bigger crowds. And so we want you to be safe, because if you're not safe when you attend one of these, then, sometimes that energy can be admitted into the room. And so we want everybody to feel safe when they attend these. And so it'll be 2 days. Tickets will be $50, and you will get 2 days of the conference. And I'm certain that you'll have a sweet time. Also, if you have teens and you're interested, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm just going to throw this out here. Dr. J, she is thinking about doing a teen drawing class. And so if a parent buys a ticket, the teen gets to draw with her for no cost. It's actually included in the adult ticket. And so that is another huge bonus to attending the conference. And so, again, we just want to give back. We want to give back and do so much more to help all of you on your recovery and everything that you're going through. And, and just to know that we're all there. So, but I'm super excited for it. So, but yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns? The whole 9 yards. You guys are quiet tonight. For a Monday, usually you guys are in here yapping. You guys are quiet. Must be that old age. I can't be talking. No, seriously, you guys are quiet. So, but yeah, I would love to be able to see, to see you guys attend the conference, and see what you get out of it. And Dave, hey now, see, got you to talk, didn't I? And even if you're like, nah, I probably won't. And if you don't attend, it's no hard feelings. But I just wanted to let you guys know exactly what we're doing. But if you would share it, it's riseupfromtrauma.com. And if you would actually share it, I better make sure. No. Yep, I'm gonna have to go back in and well, it'd be nice if I actually spelt it correctly. So yeah. So yep, I had to look at it. I'm like, wait a minute, is it not working? So riseupfromtrauma.com. Your age has just increased. That's so funny. I gotta tease you all. See, now you guys are all talking. See, I started talking about age. And now you guys are on here going, oh, now see, it's all right. You want a good laugh about age. I got to tell you something. So you'll get a kick out of this. This was like, okay. So I know I have like all of this, this gray hair, and it's gray and black. And I used to color my hair up until probably 3 years ago. I literally used to color my hair. And because everybody would say to me, oh, are you Alex's grandmother? And it would drive me nuts. Or they would see us out and say, oh, they would think that my daughter was her mom. And my daughter was like 13 at the time when we had her, just say. And my daughter's like, no, that's my sister. And then they would say, oh, well, we thought that was, that was, you were the mom, and, this is grandma. And I was like, oh my word, do I really look that old? Like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my goodness, like talk about putting your foot in your mouth, right? That's really what you should have. And so I really don't think that I don't look that old. And so I don't know. I'm almost 50, and I'm just going to be biased. I think for almost being 50, I don't know. I just think I'm absolutely beautiful for almost being 50. And that's just me. You guys shut up with your own opinions. That's me. So anyway, I go to this fall festival on Saturday, and one of my son's old friend's mom sitting there, and I was like, we're just sitting there talking, and she said, so what year did you graduate? 1979. I thought, oh my goodness, like, are you serious? Like 1979? And I just looked at her. She said, well, I thought you were my dad's age. And I was like, I think I'm graying. Geez, I think I'm aging very gracefully. Thank you very much. And she's like, oh, yeah, she said, I thought you were my dad's age. She said, how old are you? I was like, well, I mean, even if I told you how old I am, you literally just insulted me to like no end. You insulted me to breadcrumbs thrown at the earth. I was just like, how? Oh my goodness. Like, I try to take good care of myself. So I was kind of ticked in the moment, because I was like, do I really look that old? And then I was like, oh, well, no, I don't. But it's, obviously the gray hair. But I was like, so I said to her, well, if you really want to know, I said, no, I did not graduate in 1979. I said, think about it. I mean, my oldest son is 27. I would have been, I don't even, I can't even do the freaking math right now, but I was just like, dude, okay. That would have made me what, like 70 something years old. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, I said, I was 4 years old in 79. She's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. I said, I graduated in 94. I'll be 50 in November. And she's like, oh, I said, so you literally just insulted me like nothing. Like, I was just like, oh. So of course, like, just to give you the life, like a lot of shame started rising up. And I said, no, Gina, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Like, I have to remember that what you think of me has no bearing on what I think of myself. And if I think that I'm beautiful and sexy and amazing, well, you know what? That's fine. You may not think that way, but that's how I think of myself. Not to be like all and whatever. But anyway, so it was just interesting. So I had to tease you guys, but then it just brought up when Michael said my age has just increased. That caught my attention. It was kind of funny, but and I just thought, man, okay. But I was instantly able to, to flip it around so it didn't bother me and say, you know what, you're entitled to your own opinion, and that's fine. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And so it's funny how, how sometimes people allow that type of thing to creep in. But nonetheless, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm here. I'm healthy. I have gray hair, you know what? And black hair. You know how many people pay to have their hair look like this? To have that platinum and black put in their hair? Hundreds and hundreds of bucks. And mine's all natural. So it's okay. My goal was my goal was to my goal was to have my hair look like my profile picture. And so if you are probably not friends with me on Facebook, but let me see if I can find it. So my goal was, last year my hair wasn't long, but it surely wasn't. It was not where I wanted it to be. It was actually, I think, probably pretty short, not short, but shorter. And I used one of those AIs. When I used one of those AIs when I was doing my profile picture, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, I love that hairstyle. Well, I have an undercut because my hair is so thick. And so I have half of the back of my head shaved because my hair is just so thick. I was getting headaches and everything like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. And so, when my mom came to visit last year, we were just messing around with this AI, and I fell in love with this. And so this is the picture of it. So that's me with long hair. And so I loved that. I absolutely love that. And I said, you know what? I'm letting my hair grow. And all the years not all the years, but a lot of the years that Sly and I have been together, I've always had short hair, always. And I usually will cut it. But it's just interesting that now I have long hair because I'm like, oh, I really like that picture. But so, yeah. So where I'm going with that is, age is just a number. And I'm proud of myself that when she started kind of insulting me, that I was able to switch from not allowing that shame to rise up in me because somebody was thinking that I was older than I was, and things like that. And so let that be a lesson learned, that when somebody says something to you, remember who you are. Remember who you are in yourself. What you think about yourself really matters. Because if I didn't love myself, I thought crappy of myself, when she told me that I looked 70, I probably would have been like I would have probably been bawling, and really thought, oh my goodness, do I really look like I'm that old? And that those types of things, and stuff. And so I would have been like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but luckily I have learned over the years to accept who I am, love myself, and truly accept where I am. And it took me a very long time to not color my hair because I hated it. I hated being called a grandmother at such a young age. and things like that when I, didn't have any grandkids and it just bugged me. And now I'm just like, you know what? You wouldn't believe how many compliments I get from my hair. And they're like, is that natural? Yep. Didn't pay a dime for it. So, yep. So Michael said, in my case, it's a big number. Oh boy. That's funny. But so yeah. So just remember, love yourself, accept yourself, forget about what everybody else says. It's the way I look at it. What do they know, right? But sometimes we take what people say and it kind of sticks like a tick on us, and then it's like the irritant in the pearl, and it sticks to us, and then we're like, how do we get it off of us? And then we can't, because it drives us insane. So just remember who you are and what you think about yourself. So yeah. I don't remember how old I was when I started. I think I was probably in my 30s, I think, when I started getting my gray. But, just remember who you are. Flick those bugs off as soon as they try to come and get you, those irritants, just flick them off, because they mean nothing. Remember who you are. And if you're a Christian, remember who you are in Christ, because that's a huge, huge thing. And just like my shirt says, it says Godfidence. And so it says, knowing I can't, but he can. So things like that. So anybody have any questions? Any questions, concerns? Anything at all? You guys are quiet. So I will try to do better for next week, and things like that. I'm trying to get everything situated and stuff like that too, and really trying to get on a schedule and figure out what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot I had makeup on. My eyes itchy. That wasn't very good. Now I'm probably gonna look like I got black eyes now. Whoops. Oh well. I'll fix it later. My eyes itchy. I forgot I had makeup on. And so I'm going to try to do my best. I've been trying not to get overwhelmed with things, but I'm not going to allow the gravy to pour out of my plate like it used to. But I am going to have to go back and start writing everything down, my to-do list, and try to finish that within a day. And so I really need to be organized. And I am, for the most part. But when you're writing programs and then you're trying to switch websites and stuff like that, time gets away from me. My son's football games, I'm going to church. You guys know, you guys are busy too. And as much as I slow down, I feel like the more I slow down, and then I feel like the more I got to do and things like that. And so, really looking at that. But, I really do want to start getting everything out there. Now, of course, my eye's going to drive me nuts. Sorry, guys. I really want to start getting some other things out there, some other topics and stuff like that too, and really diving deep into some other things. So if there's any topics that you're curious about, any topics that you think that other people would love to hear, or, something that you think others, for education purposes or things like that, let me know. I'd like to learn new things myself and things like that too. So, and then I think I'm going to start trying to get some guests on here as well. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start screening. So I'll start meeting with them and stuff like that too, and going back and seeing about getting some people set up from now until the end of the year, start getting all of that stuff done. And yeah, because I think it's really nice when you bring in other people, because like I said, everybody else has different niches and stuff like that and different experiences. And sometimes it's nice when other people can connect with other people. And then it's nice to have, another person you can conversate with. That's why I said in the beginning, I'm like, man, I really need to get a co-host. It's nice. Because like I can talk to myself all day. I could sit here and talk to myself and answer myself, but then you guys would think I was a little loony. And so I was like, yeah, no, that's okay. And stuff like that too. But yeah, so, that's what I have coming up. My goal again, like I said, my goal is to start going at least 3 to 4 days a week for my podcast. I haven't been consistent and I'm trying to get everything going, but it is a lot when when you're doing your business in this, especially when I had to revamp everything. And so, I will get there. I'm hoping to be able to go live again tomorrow at 11, I believe it is, with another drawing session. See what happens. A little loony. I'm a lot loony. I'm not going to lie. I have nothing to hide. I'm transparent, man. I'm probably a lot loony and things like that, but it's okay though. And then we will probably start doing, just depending on the day, because my co-host for the Gods Gals, where we will share more Christian aspects of things, we were thinking about doing that on a Saturday morning, but it'll probably end up being a Thursday morning, and we probably will eventually move to a Saturday morning. We shall see. Kind of see what happens and things like that. We'll kind of wait and see where God sends us and stuff like that too. So we'll see what happens, but great things are in store for all of us. And I love our little community, and eventually we will start growing and growing and growing and stuff, but it's about consistency. And I know that, and that's why I'm trying to get everything squared away on the other side, because when I get my website up and going, there'll be a tools and resource link in all of my videos and all of my workbooks that I have created. Not just my frameworks for the neurosomatic art, but I have created other workbooks. Those will be all up there for sale and for download and stuff like that too. And so it's a lot. It's a lot. My mind is like, there's a lot of creativity in there, just a lot of things that I've learned and stuff like that. And so really looking into a lot of that stuff as well, which is pretty neat. So yeah. So there's a lot going on in my atmosphere of doing the things that I'm doing in the trauma world, and really trying to get out there more with the neurosomatic art and really help people. And so, like I tell you all the time, if anybody wants to try a session, doesn't matter, male or female, you're more than welcome to come in and try a group session. You're welcome to have your the only thing that I ask is that you not have your camera off, so I can at least watch you draw and be able to kind of see what's happening in your world and things like that too as you draw. But I have a free class coming up. Well, the website that I have doesn't allow you to do free, so it'd be $1. But I think it's coming up on the 24th, September 24th. It's called Reveal Intentions. And so if anybody is available at 7:00, you're welcome. Here, I'll put my website up there because the other one is not working right now. And so this is the website if you're interested. Make sure I did it right. Yep. Neurosomatic art. Yep. Okay. So if you go there, that is my new website, artoftransformation.life. Eventually that one will be a redirect to this website, but this is the domain. So neurosomatic art, because that's what I do. But Art of Transformation is, actually my brand name and stuff like that too. But if you go in there and you click on, I believe it's store, you should be able to find it. It's $1. I couldn't even give you a discount code for $1. It was kind of crazy. So you'll have to pay $1, even though I'm like, oh, it's free. If you want to join without paying, just send me a message. No big deal. Send me a message and I can put your email in for the Zoom, and then you'll get the Zoom. But I would love to see, all you need is a piece of paper, a marker, or a Sharpie, pen, whatever you want, and then some colored pencils if you'd like. It's really a sweet algorithm as far as revealing intentions. What is it that you want to do, but what are things that are being revealed to you? What are things that may be hindering you from going further? So it's actually an amazing, I think I might have said algorithm, sorry, and I'm tired, an amazing framework through using neurosomatic art and stuff like that. And so we really dive deep into revealing intentions and stuff like that too. And because a lot of people don't understand the blocks and limitations that we have. And so, we just kind of draw those out and stuff like that too. So, and then let me give you the, if you are interested in, there's the other one. So if you're interested in conference workshop tickets, this is the website. Or if you know Sly, you can always message him. You can always message me. I don't even know if I have to go on there and check my YouTube, what my YouTube email is. And but this is riseupfromtrauma.com. This is the conference. Go in there and you can actually look and see. You can meet every speaker, see what all the speakers, what they're doing, who they are, kind of their backgrounds, who's speaking on what days, what they're speaking about. And so we have only 2 speakers. We did have 4 last time at every hour, but now we're only having 2 because we want everybody to experience things and not have to worry about, oh my goodness, I really wanted to see this one, but I really wanted to do this one too. And at the same, they're at the same time. And so we kind of scaled down a little bit, again, to reduce more of the overwhelm. And so we could offer more and give you more and things like that too. So yeah. So let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. So yeah, Dave, I didn't hear from you. I don't know if I just wanted to see if you had emailed me at all. I know you had said you were going to email me and I didn't receive anything. So I'm hoping that things maybe worked themselves out, or you maybe forgot to email me. Either way, it's okay. I'm just hoping it's the first. But you know how to get a hold of me if you still need any assistance, anybody. I like to tell people, no, that's all right. Don't apologize. It's no biggie. I'm a real person. I read emails. I respond to them when I can. And comments, the same things. I try to get on here and respond to comments. And because I don't mind. I want people to understand exactly what's going on. And, and that somebody is, that I will respond to your messages and stuff like that too. So I know what's going on and understand what's going on, I guess I should say, might be better. So yeah. So again, I won't keep you. I just wanted to share all of that wonderful stuff that's going on and hoping that I will see your faces at the 2025 Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health Conference. It's going to be an amazing time. If you don't feel like going again, I just ask that you please share, go to the website, share it out. If you have on any of your socials, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Lemonade, whatever you're on, LinkedIn, Alignable, I think it is, or whatever it is. If you're on any of them, I would really appreciate it if you would share them out. And if you are, is there anybody that is on Facebook here by chance? You're welcome, Scott, as always. If you are on Facebook and if you could do me a favor, it doesn't mean, but if you are on Facebook, if you could go to, well, I know you are, I think you like my page already. I'm trying to get to, let me see, I don't even know how many I even have. So I'm trying to get, before we leave. Okay. Okay. So that's all you use, Dave. That's all right. So on Facebook, my Facebook business page is called Art of Transformation and Coaching for Mental Health. I think it's mental health and trauma or mental health. I can't remember what I put it as. Yeah. Art of Transformation and Coaching for Mental Health. And so I need to get 100 followers in order to go live there. So I'm streaming live on my Facebook right now, but I'm streaming live on my personal Facebook. And I would love to be able to stream live on my actual business page. I have 61 followers right now. And so it's Art of Transformation and Coaching for Mental Health. And it's actually, my logo has a blue background with kind of a black face with rainbow colored neurons, neural pathways. And, if you are on Facebook, I would love if you could like my page, share it out and stuff like that too. I would love it. I would love to be able to get 100 followers just to be able to go live on there and stuff while I do this. Excuse me. Be able to do those as well. So yeah. Yeah. So but yeah, so I hope you all are good. Hope everyone's well. Hope the weather where you are at has been treating you good. I know it's been hot here. It's been like in the 80s, 90s here. We had that cold spell and then all of a sudden it got hot again and things like that too. So I'm hoping you guys are able to get outside, do what you need to do, and kind of help yourself. and stuff like that too. So, helping you because before you know it, it's going to be chilly, and then we're going to be like, oh, we don't want to go outside. So get outside while you can, and walk around, do what you got to do, fish, make memories, do what you're doing, stuff like that. So you're looking for my page now. If you're not actually on Facebook, you might not be able to find it, but oh yeah, that is nice. It was hot. I didn't have the air conditioner on here in my office for a while, and I was like, oh man, I better put that on. So I know what my temperature still says it's 75 out. So it's still pretty warm out, which is nice. I'm not complaining at all. And things like that too. So it's like, oh, this is nice. So, but yeah, it's called Art of Transformation and Coaching for Mental Health. And let me see. So this is the, hold on. So this is what it looks like. So this, if you do go, this is the logo. I know my camera's not the best. Oh yeah, there you go. So that's my logo there. So if you are on there, I appreciate it. And then, hopefully here pretty soon I can start going live on there. So, which would be nice as well, and things like that too. So yeah. So I hope each and every one of you have a blessed week, an amazing week. If you need me, message me. Or if there's any topics or anything that you'd like to see, let me know. And I'm going to try to start again getting more speakers on here and stuff like that. Speaking and stuff, so it's not just me. I don't mind, but sometimes I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have a guest on here and be able to share the stage with somebody else. And so I'm going to be working on that and being more mindful and consistent up in between now and up until the end of the year and things like that. So again, I hope each and every one of you have a fabulous week. Found it. Good. So now you know how to get a hold of me or anything like that. So yeah. But yeah, if you have anything, let me know. If you have any concerns, thoughts, any topics, again, not to sound like a repeat, like a record, but anything like that, let me know. And just let me know. So I will see you. Well, some of you may hop on tomorrow at 11. I have to confirm that she wants to do the podcast tomorrow. Otherwise, I might just start being more consistent like next week or whatever. We'll figure it out. But, nonetheless, I'm going to start being a little bit more consistent here on my Mondays, my Monday evening crew of my fabulous warriors. And so, yeah, so all of you have a good night. And I will see you next Monday. So good night, everyone. I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging with me. Bye-bye.